Cinemajaw is brought to you by Field Notes Brand. Field Notes Brand, USA-made memo books and other products, including seasonal limited editions. Visit fieldnotesbrand.com or 400 North May, and we thank them for their support. You're listening to Cinemajaw, the greatest movies podcast ever, recorded in the Red Door studio at Cards Against Humanity. My name is Matt Kay, and with me is...
Rye, the movie guy. And sitting alongside us, as always, Matt, he's back, our engineer, Elias Rodriguez.
How's it going, Jawheads?
This week on Cinemajaw, Matt, we travel deep into space to scare the hell out of each other.
Well, you just got back from traveling yourself, right? Are we going to talk about this?
We will, after I announce what we're doing on the topic here this week.
All right, because you went to outer space, kind of.
No.
Close.
No.
Europe?
Europe, I did, yes.
It's like another planet.
Hey, let me get to the top five this week.
Okay, all right, go for it.
We go to outer space to scare the hell out of each other as we cover our top 5 favorite scary aliens.
I like it. I like scary aliens. This is right up my alley.
Right. We are doing this in honor of the new Alien movie, Alien Covenant.
Right.
And as Matt mentioned, unfortunately, we do not have a review of Alien Covenant.
Because we haven't seen it yet.
Yes. As probably most of our listeners know, we are recording this right before these big movies come out. Usually, we are lucky enough to go to most of the press screenings, and that's how we get the reviews. I was traveling this week.
Yeah, someone had to go on vacation.
Matt was busy, so we did not get a chance to see Alien Covenant just yet. So we're going to have to go with the masses and see it this weekend with everybody.
It's cool. I can't wait.
But that is why we are doing our top 5.
Yes.
Good
choice.
Yes. As for my trip to Europe, I went to Berlin, Germany, and Amsterdam, and had an absolute blast, Matthew.
So when you were in Amsterdam, did you travel to another planet, if you know what I mean?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah. Saw a lot of great things, all from the comfort of one particular chair. It was amazing.
We'll have to talk about that later.
Yes. Besides that, we have a whole lot more going on, don't we, Elias?
Oh, yes. We are going eye for an eye on Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
And we do have a review of Snatched.
Snatched.
Yes.
That's the Goldie Hawn, Amy Schumer masterpiece that I'm hearing a lot about.
Masterpiece.
Can't wait to hear that. Matt, we also have a great guest who's going to be joining us this week.
We do. Filmmaker Ryan Fox is here with us. Can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, he's been hitting the film circuit, the festival circuit with Elias Rodriguez. He has a movie out entitled The Life and Times of Thomas Thumb Jr.
Yes.
You got to love that title. I know that intrigues our listeners right away.
The movie is awesome. Can't wait to talk about it.
Me and Matt have seen that. Also, out in theaters, coming out is a movie entitled Baywatch, based on the television show that David Hasselhoff made famous, entitled Baywatch as well.
Did David Hasselhoff make it famous?
I believe so.
I don't know. I would argue maybe Pamela Anderson made it famous.
Probably.
You can make a case for both.
It depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to David Hasselhoff made it famous.
Or Star-Lord from Guardians would probably agree too.
Right. But in honor of that, I thought it'd be a great time, Matt, for you to take Ryan on in movies based on television shows trivia.
Okay, cool.
That sound pretty good?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a creative topic, Ryan.
Yeah.
Well done. You know, speaking of pirates, that got me to thinking that series is so long in the tooth, it's almost as bad as Transformers.
Oh, it's not as bad as Transformers. I wouldn't put the two on the same level.
Oh, in fact, it's worse. It's worse than Transformers.
I would actually say I'm somewhat looking forward to this 5th one. I think this one could get it a little bit back on track.
Why does it need to get back on track? It's a piece of...
I mean, the Transformers is absolutely garbage.
No, Pirates is garbage.
Oh, come on. CinemaWAR. Ooh, boy. Ryan Fox is going to have his hands full with that one, I tell you. We are jam-packed here, Matt.
Yes, we are.
All right. So let's get going with this thing. Without further ado, we bring in our guest. As Matt mentioned, he is a filmmaker. He is writer-director of The Life and Times of Thomas Thumb Jr., all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ryan Fox, welcome to Cinemajaw.
Hello, gentlemen. How's it going?
So being from Milwaukee, what do you think of our local brew here, Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Oh, yeah, that's been exercised forever in Milwaukee. They actually just opened up a brewery. Like, they left, and now they're back. They had a big... like a street party thing over the weekend, so that was pretty fun. It's not bad.
It's good beer. It's a good standby.
Yeah, I mean, if you're stoned and pretty drunk already, it's a solid go-to. But I will happily take a bottle of wine or some nice vodka first, and then I'll venture down the PBR Valley. But yes.
It's always there for you, though. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds on PBR.
Matt loves his PBR. Yeah, let's get to the films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's start right with the film in question here. The Life and Times of Thomas Thumb Jr. I love the title and the concept for this movie. I guess to sell it to the jawheads who have not seen it, you have a gentleman who has a face is a thumb.
Yeah, his whole head.
His whole entire head is a thumb. Where does the idea for this script come from? And how long until you decided, damn it, I'm going to make a short film based on this?
It's just a writing exercise. I have very odd thumbs.
You
if
do.
You can see. They're toe thumbs, and now somebody.
Wow, are both hands like that?
Yeah. Some people, it's even more rare that only one thumb is like this and the other one's normal.
Wow.
But I've had enough people share things about it, and so now I've realized, or I've come to the conclusion after reading things. Apparently, they're common with sociopaths, serial killers. So that actually felt pretty awesome.
You're making me feel really comfortable right now.
And is it because they're probably upset because they can't go bowling?
I'm not sure, but that is an issue, to be truthful.
No, I literally, right when I saw your thumb, I thought, oh, the poor guy probably can't bowl with that thing.
Yeah, it's not bad. Megan Fox has these thumbs, so that's always something interesting. We share the same last name, so maybe we're related somehow, which, that's a shame because I have a solid chance.
Right, no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a writing exercise.
Yeah, and then...
How long ago? Like a couple of years ago?
I mean... until we started shooting, probably like a year and a half. And yeah, I was a senior at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, which just has an incredible film program. And so I didn't want to write anything new, and I had this stupid script. And so what ended up happening is something that I just did as an experiment. I duct taped a GoPro onto my car tire, drove around Milwaukee, just made trippy 2001 Space Odyssey-like visuals. That
sounds awesome.
Yeah, it got like 2 million views in a day, and then eventually some people making a show called Off the Air on Adult Swim ended up seeing it, and they need content because that's their whole show is they take a theme every episode and then just morph everybody's licensed content into this trippy 10-minute show. And oddly enough, that was like my favorite show. So when I got the email, I was floored, and also I didn't want to kickstart. So when that happened and I got the funding, I was like, all right, I'm going to make this very stupid story and let's see how it happens and how can I do it, with $2,000. And so, yeah, that's, it was a blessing, and it was a lot of fun because it was only a crew of myself, the lead actor who's the thumb guy, and then my DP. And we just got it done guerrilla style, few locations. And then the ending, of course, Wadsworth, Illinois with the big gold pyramid house. That was just incredible because I had no idea that existed.
I didn't know either. I didn't know where that was.
Yeah.
That's right here in Illinois?
Yeah, I was very stressed from working on my thesis, and I hadn't gone out like on a date and really socialized with people, and so I finally went on Tinder, and I met somebody that lived in Wadsworth just because I'm a compulsive person. And she had just mentioned it because I asked what there is to do in Wadsworth.
I was going to ask, did she live in the giant pyramid?
No. But when I found that out and it was like written in my script, I lost my mind. Like the date ended.
You're kidding.
I just went.
You're telling me it was in the script before you found out about it?
Yeah. My plan was to just do After Effects, just shoot a duplex exterior and make it look like it was gold plated. And then it was like 2 miles away from her house. It was pretty insane. And I ended up just messaging the guy on Facebook, just the Gold Pyramid page that they have. And he responded in like 45 seconds. So he must have been at his phone. And he's like, yeah, just give me some dates and I'll say yes or no. And the fun thing about that is if you go on YouTube, there's a whole History Channel like episode about it, the history of it and all that. Michael Jackson apparently in like the 70s wanted to shoot a music video there and they wouldn't let him because it was like right when he built it. It actually used to be covered in 24 karat gold plates.
Wow.
So I guess like a tornado flew in the 90s and smashed up half of the building. So they took the plates off. But it's just a super bizarre thing. And like the sad thing about it is the guy that built it now is just totally senile. He has no idea that he even built it. He lives in this house and he doesn't know how it's there or why. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is because at that scene in the movie, I was just, you're just laughing along with, Thumb finally got his way and he's wearing this like gold outfit. And the whole thing is just, wonderful because it's humorous and it's bizarre. It's like, this is great. I never even cross my mind to think where you actually shot.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
incredible. Every step of the way of shooting the thing was just like blind luck where things happened to work out. And yeah, as far as what you're saying, yeah, I just wanted it to be based in reality, but also just entirely absurd.
Yeah, and on that note, obviously you have a character who has a thumb for a head, and you are
It should be
outdoors.
noted a giant thumb for a head. It's a
Giant.
yeah.
One, how did you guys come up with the mask or such to put him in? Because it was dead on. You didn't want it to be too serious of a thumb. You wanted it to look at it and almost be humorous in a way. But at the same time, the lines and everything, it really did look like a thumbprint. It was pretty accurate.
No, that was blind luck too. I actually bought all the stuff. I bought a bus to start sculpting out the clay and stuff because I like to think I can do everything and I don't like to get help from people necessarily. I have too much pride. And I was about to do it and I realized, like, what the hell are you doing? This is like your hero prop. This is your whole movie. And you think that you're going to like flawlessly pull this off the first time and your film has to be done in like 4 months. And so I ended up just mass emailing people that could do prosthetics and latex stuff. And I think like 12 people. And I got 2 responses. The one was a guy that lived in Racine, which is just, it's in between you and I, Chicago and Milwaukee. And the guy wanted like $600 and he had very little experience. And I was about to say yes, but I was also super sketched out because you didn't seem reliable. And then like 12 hours later, I got a response from a guy that is from Utah that was on Face Off, or his crew is on Face Off, and he was on, what's it called? Creature Shop. Okay. Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Yeah, the other prosthetic makeup show.
Correct. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I'll do it for you for $400, man. I support independent." And I just like lost my shit. I was like, $400? That's it? That is like such a relief, off of what I have to do. And so it came in the mail, and then it further instills like I have this stupid mask. I'm like, all right, this is happening. I have to. You're committed, all right? You're not writing anything different. So yeah, it's a pretty incredible experience.
Speaking of the mask, I think one of the genius parts of this movie, of which I found many, was the way you did the expressions, which is almost like animation. You have to change his expression in an offbeat when he's not on camera.
Yeah,
and it actually makes for some of the funniest gags. So when did you have the thought that you were going to do his expressions off camera like that?
Oh, that was pretty immediate because, I mean, how else are you going to do it? And then as far as shooting, I just made notes. I would just draw what the facial expression was each time. And, right before we'd shoot, I would just cut them out. Some of them I had prepped, but other times, while lighting is being set up, I'm just sitting there with scissors and the sticky felt. And I'm like, all right, this is what we're going to do this time. Or there's certain ones I would save because then I just had a board that I kept sticking them to, and I'd bring it with me and I go, all right, what are we going to do for this one?
And not to give a spoiler away, but at one point, the thumb character actually picks these noses off the felt thing.
Yeah,
that was probably actually what you were doing off camera for.
Yeah, that was my actor's suggestion. He's like, "Well, why doesn't he just pick them?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, so he's blind." Okay, he puts the eyes on, and then great.
I love that part.
And so and then when I'm editing, I was like, "Oh, this makes it actually seem pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like I actually know what I'm doing."
Good stuff. Now, as I mentioned, you're taking this film, again, entitled The Life and Times of Thomas Thumb Jr., around the country on these different festivals. Is it fun to watch the movie after you've put all that work into it to watch it with an audience?
Yeah. I mean, Milwaukee Film Festival is by far one of the greatest festivals in the U.S. They don't use any submission things like Film Freeway or Without a Box, so not a lot of people know about it. But it's 15 days long.
How do they take submissions then?
It's just on their website and it's free.
Oh.
And they treat everybody incredibly. You get to drink for free for all 15 days if you're a filmmaker, if you stick around. I mean, obviously, local filmmakers, they soak it up and go to see as much stuff as they can. And then they always have the Milwaukee Showcase. So it's like a 2,500-seat theater, always sells out. And it's incredible. So that was my best experience. But outside of that, I got into Phoenix Film Festival, very excited because it's a decent film festival, and it's Friday at like 2:00, and there's 8 people in the audience, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
and they're all 60 years old, so I know it's not the target audience, and so it's a mixed bag. I definitely learned shoot for festivals where you know exactly like where it will necessarily screen well. I just did a scattershot thing of which ones I recommended or respected, and definitely seeing photos of certain festivals I couldn't afford to go out to, or if the weekends overlapped with other ones, I realized like, oh, I should have went to that one. Like that they're not as like huge, but seeing like the crowds and the excitement and then feedback I'll get random emails. I'm like, damn it, that would have been way better than venturing out to whatever I did just because I thought it was going to be like a grandiose experience.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the great things, and having the experience to go to some of these film festivals around the country and even here in Chicago is seeing something creative and different, such as your film, and then probably for yourself being able to meet other filmmakers that are out there putting their work as well. You know, what I mean?
saw a crazy amount of great work and I continue to, and that's why it's wonderful. And you realize it really is like a tight-knit small community. Like Elias, you're working your rounds with your short. How many times have we crossed over in different cities?
Yeah, we were just in Oklahoma together at the Twister Alley Film Festival.
I didn't tell him.
Were you guys wearing the same shirt?
He surprised me.
You walked in like,
yeah,
we got to communicate this, guys.
We did the Euro double cheek kiss, and everybody just knew that we were friends for life immediately.
No thumbs up.
No, right.
Good stuff. Now, what is the next? I know you got always something going on, and I understand you may have something in the canon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on a feature that I don't even want to discuss, other than the fact that I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, so it's loosely based on that, because there has yet to really be like a film that captures that experience. Religion in general, there are those. Yeah, that's like my newest passion project that I'll eventually make when it's good enough, because I'm not going to push it out when I'm not comfortable with it, because I don't do things that I'm not like familiar with, and I'm definitely not at the perfect mindset to make it just yet, because it'd be too silly. It'd be like a Pineapple Express like version of religion or something. You know what I mean?
Actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
I know, but I kind of don't want to do that. Like,
especially
I want it to be
Amsterdam.
respected. I want it to be serious. But the closest thing is, I have a couple scripts written, but the one I really want to make is just, if you're going to use the classic trope of something like something, it's like Jumanji meets Final Destination, I guess. It's essentially based off of the game Guess Who. And so these kids find a Guess Who like board game, but it's actually God's board game that he drops from the sky accidentally, because he lives in the clouds. We all know that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that when they eliminate people from the game, they're actually killing them in real life, and that's how he determines who dies every day in the world. And so it's definitely like a scatter shot, smash cut short, where essentially it's just 10 minutes of people dying, but it's also based in reality because of what's going on, like things that are themes, like stupid things like gluten and Trump, and what I mean, something relatable.
Gluten and Trump.
Because that was one issue, is the thumb thing was great, but it went way over or just wasn't interesting to certain people. And so when I see certain shorts that are totally inappropriate, but there's when I say young, I mean like teenagers, and then also people that are 60 laughing and they love it. I'm like, all right, I need to do that, because that's impressive. So yeah, that's my newest challenge, is like writing something that
crosses boundaries.
Yeah, like
demographic
it
boundaries.
offends, but people are still laughing. Louis C.K., all those great comics that are able to pull that off now.
Sure,
it's there is a fine art to that, and that's an awesome challenge.
Definitely. Now, for the listeners listening to this that want to check out the life and times of Thomas Thumb Jr. or follow you along online, where's the best place to do all of that?
I mean,
just support you.
Yeah, I have the website, but it's ThomasThumbJr.movie.com, which is way too long-winded. Just type in Ryan Fox Vimeo. I mean, you'll get to my page and you'll see everything. You can see the spinny, stupid thing. And then I also have, I just released the Thomas Thumb thing online, so you can watch it there.
You have a bunch of videos on your Vimeo.
A lot of experiments, things where I just, for the heck of it, also through school,
Yeah, I kind of went down that rabbit hole, so
yeah.
I watched a bit of them. Yeah,
some of it is not great. Some of it's pretty good. When I get bored certain nights, or if I'm stoned late night, I'll reflect upon it and go, okay, that is pretty cool. You should keep making stupid experiments. Yeah.
Definitely. I love it. So, Jawheads, check out Ryan Fox Vimeo page. And also, are you on Twitter or Facebook, all that good stuff?
No.
So do it on
I
Vimeo.
love this. Vimeo is the only place a
Yeah.
filmmaker should be.
That's it. Now, we like to end all of our guest interviews with some silly cinema cues, we call them. Get to know the guest through the eye of the lens. Elias, you always seem to have something for the guest. I don't know how, but you do.
Yes, Ryan, I have one. Here we go. So if you could go back and direct one of these Megan Fox masterpieces, Transformers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which one would you direct and why?
Ninja Turtles, of course. Because that's in my wheelhouse. I would just be like every one of those other nerds that tore it apart because it wasn't their perfect, ideal reflection on their childhood.
Like Matt Kay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you guys
big
you
time.
guys spent like 10 episodes deconstructing it, didn't you?
No, I'm not a Turtles fan. I missed the boat on the
I
Turtles.
famously did not watch the new films.
The second one I actually kind of enjoyed because it was finally, they got Bebop and Rocksteady, and I don't know. It was just silly because you have to go into those with not caring at all. And then the big thing that people forget is like, it's not for adults, it's for a kid. So if you have opinions about it, I kind of think there's something wrong with people like that, because you should just go into it and go, all right, this should be very fun. And maybe it's not how my childhood was, but like for a kid, how awesome that stuff looks with the technology we have now must like destroy their minds. You know what I mean? Like in a good way. I'm saying like they have no comprehension for how like awesome everything looks, you know? The river scene specifically, where I think there's like a tank even involved with Bebop and Rocksteady. I'm just watching it going, all right, this is, if I was 10 right now, I would be like screaming, losing it. You know, my mom would have to like pull me out of the theater, I think.
They're spoiled that way, though. I don't know if they appreciate it as much as we do as adults. I wonder.
I love the Corey Feldman original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film with the Henson puppets, but you know, I'm willing to give the new ones a shot.
Yeah, I think he might be in town tonight or tomorrow. If
Corey
you guys
Feldman?
want to check out, and his Angels.
Oh boy.
All right,
Matt, what happened to the booking on that?
I
We
gotta
need
go.
Corey Feldman in the Jaw studio,
you should.
buddy.
I'll Google it.
Yeah,
He's
do it.
willing to do anything, even embarrass himself on a music tour. So.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah, I've heard his music. It is embarrassing. Sorry, Corey.
All right. Ryan Fox is sitting in on this entire Jaw. He has his top 5 favorite scary aliens. It's going to be an interesting list.
I think so.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
So
right?
get thinking of those as you're listening to this as we move along to Eye for an Eye.
Yes, eye for an eye. Interested or ignore? Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead men tell no tales. Captain Jack Sparrow finds the winds of ill fortune blowing even more strongly when deadly ghost pirates led by his old nemesis, the terrifying Captain Salazar, escape from Devil's Triangle, determined to kill every pirate at sea, including him. Captain Jack's only hope of survival lies in seeking out the legendary Trident of Poseidon, a powerful artifact that bestows upon its possessor total control over the seas. The film stars Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Javier Bardem. It is directed by Joaquin Roning, who directed 2012's Kon-Tiki. We throw it over to Rai.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I do think that the Pirates series is much better than the Transformers series, but it's like picking out the tallest midget here. I really enjoyed the first Pirates movie. I think a lot of people did. It was a great character for Johnny Depp. If it all ended with one movie, I think we would have been happy. It would have been fine, and we would have looked back at it and sort of cherished that movie. Then it became this series, and when it hit like the 4th installment, it was like, this is just too much.
What number is this?
This is number 5.
Okay.
And all along that time, I kept thinking like they could make these cool like space. There I am. These sea adventures where if they traveled along the sea and they had to get some sort of artifact or something, that could be pretty cool. So they're doing that. I like that. 2, they casted Javier Bardem as the villain here, and Javier Bardem, best villain I think you can cast right now going for an actor. I think he's perfect. And then the director who did Kon-Tiki. This was the dramatization of Kon-Tiki. It was a documentary, and I watched both. I saw the documentary and I saw the drama, and it's about this boat lost at sea. So he's perfect for this role. All that said, I'm still going to ignore it.
Wow.
Matt, what do you got, Matt?
Wow.
This whole time I thought that was you making the sound effect from your computer.
No, it's not me. It's Ryan movie.
Yeah,
It's a Radio Shack 1992.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Fox has seen our sound machine.
Oh no! It's like the Wizard of Oz. The curtains. I was mystified how. I'm sorry.
It's live audio.
Yes.
Okay. Interested or ignore on this? This thing's a piece of junk. I can't believe they got 5 films out of it. I saw the first one. I agree. It's okay. I have never seen any of the others, and I don't intend to start now. Ignore.
Wow. 2 ignores. We throw it to
He's
Ryan
still laughing
Fox
over the.
because he's still laughing over these.
This
sound
is our
machines.
high tech. We used to actually have like a bell, like when you go to a hotel and you ring the bell. That's what we had. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen a bell.
Right. the hotel. It's a specific bell, right?
Jackass Matt. Oh man. Ryan Fox, interested or ignore on Pirates 5?
Ignore. Thank you.
But
No,
you just say interested so you hear what the other sound sounds like.
Oh, I've heard
knows?
it.
Okay.
It'll come. I'm sure.
Have you seen any of the Pirates movies?
Yeah, I saw the first or second one. I know, but I'm not familiar with it a lot. I don't know. I ignore a lot of movies just because. Meh. How I judge movies is if I go to see them and I start thinking about them like a week later. Like even if I didn't like them in the moment, like Moonlight, same thing. I was like, all right, everybody loves this. And I was like, it was okay. And then a week later, I was thinking about it and I was like, all right, this is a good movie because I definitely want to watch it again. I like slow-paced things.
Sure.
Drive, like when I first saw that,
yes.
lost my mind
Yeah.
because it was so weird. It was
Understandable.
not a normal movie at all.
3 ignores going into Elias, and he has been known to buck the system. So let's see if he does it again, Elias.
You know, one thing that wasn't mentioned is that Sir Paul McCartney, is in this film.
Ooh.
So what? Keith Richards wasn't available. I mean, so what?
He was already in one, and
I
Mick Jagger
know.
too. I just wanted to put that out there, but I'm ignoring it.
4 ignores.
I wouldn't
for
watch this
Pirates.
film if they got John Lennon.
Wait, so Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney.
Or the other ones.
The obvious
Right.
Keith Richards wasn't involved?
No, Keith Richards was.
He
Okay.
was, yeah.
And, yeah.
Because, that's...
He played Johnny Depp's dad in the
Right.
movie, right?
Jack Sparrow's
Okay.
father. Right.
That's just an economical choice. Like, no wardrobe or makeup required.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, like...
The effects in this movie, I will say, look pretty cool because Javier Bardem looks, he's supposed to be sort of dead, coming back after him.
Sure.
I thought the effects from what I've seen in the trailer look pretty good. I think
Your
it can
effects
be,
better be good at this point.
It better be almost passable of a movie. That's what I'm thinking. I'm good chance I do end up seeing this at a screen, and I'm probably hoping for like a 2-Jaw movie. That's what I would go in hoping for. I don't know. So
Yeah.
4 ignores for. I'm just calling it Pirates 5 because the title is just a mouthful.
It is.
That's
It's a
another
mess.
thing. Yeah,
It's a
Jesus.
mess.
Speaking of new movies, because I was on vacation, somehow missed this one. But Matt, I believe you saw Snatched.
I did. Snatched. Can Amy Schumer capture the lightning of Trainwreck in a bottle again with her collaboration with Goldie Hawn? Rye, I went to the new 400 to find out.
Mom, look how fun you were. Pack your bags. We're going to South America.
Absolutely not. Everybody knows you need 2 years to plan a vacation.
You don't do anything fun anymore.
That's not true. I've been taking sculpting lessons at the Y. Ta-da!
I told you I would not acknowledge that. That is frightening, and you made that.
Okay.
The short answer is no. She cannot. Usually in a review, I will lead with the bad and then spend some time expounding on what was good in a movie. In this case, I'm going to reverse that. There are a few good points to consider here. It was wonderful to see Goldie Hawn and her iconic smile on the big screen for the first time since the aughts. And Amy Schumer is at her Schumerist. Another standout performance that has to be mentioned is Joan Cusack, who plays this silent and hatchet-faced special ops agent, and she's hilariously partnered with the ever-gabby Wanda Sykes. Perfect. I love those two. I'll finish off the good section with Jeffrey, the agoraphobic middle-aged brother character, played by Ike Barinholtz. He is easily the best part of this movie. But what keeps that amount of talent down is an utterly uninspired and ham-fisted script by Schumer. It is full of wah-wah moments and the corniest humor in what is supposed to be a raunch fest, more like a snooze fest One particularly cringeworthy moment of the film is when it reaches its emotional center and tries to have a genuine moment of character growth with Schumer's Ugly American. She's helping out the indigenous people of the Amazon, and it just plays out as culturally insensitive, and it actually made me wince. It sucks. You'll get a few chuckles out of this movie, and perhaps that's all you need. It was great to see Goldie again, and with her and Kurt Russell in marquee films in the same month, perhaps the studio heads will give us a reunion that we'd love to see. I'd love to see a Hanson reunion more than Snatched. I hope I never see this film again. Matt K's grade. Oh, I'm going to hold it, right?
Yeah,
we
hold it.
want to wait on it.
Yeah, hold it right there. And before we even get to the 5 questions, man, I just have to say, you brought up the point that the script was extremely weak. And I think when you see a movie, let's go to a comedy where it's a comedy first, but the action worked. If you'll remember the Melissa McCarthy movie Spy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Here's a movie where the comedy obviously is at the forefront, but really the actual spy script of the movie works to some degree. There is some type of draw to the script. As silly as the movie is, the spy element works. It moves the movie along.
Yeah.
So what you're saying here in Snatched is it's just not there.
No.
0.
It's, I guess, supposed to be a buddy movie, right?
But they're mom and daughter, right?
Right. So there's sort of, she's going to weird places on purpose, trying to evoke this raunchy, crossing boundaries kind of humor. But it's a buddy movie at its core. And it just doesn't work. It's weird. It doesn't play well.
Yeah, so it doesn't work. But was there anything that you enjoyed? A favorite scene, perhaps, with Goldie?
No, if I had to pick a favorite scene, I would say it's when Jeffrey, the brother, he's agoraphobic, right? So he doesn't get out often, let's say. He finally shows up. He's been calling this State Department guy to try to save his, because the movie is called Snatched. They get kidnapped, obviously. He's trying to save his mom and sister, and he shows up in this guy's office trying to be tough. And I don't want to spoil anything, but that I actually laughed out loud. It was pretty funny. Ike Barinholtz is great.
Awesome. You talked about the culturally insensitive scene. Was there any other scene you had particular trouble with?
I found that culturally insensitive. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That is the one that I really hated the most. I mean,
Yeah.
it just functions as the center of the movie when the character is supposed to have an epiphany and realize that it's not all about selfies on Snapchat, and it just falls down. It just really falls down. It's sad.
Any movie influences?
I mean, Trainwreck is pretty obvious. I would also point to Romancing the Stone. There's a bit of an Indiana Jones type character who's a total throwaway, but I don't know. For some reason, it evoked that. They're in the Amazon, so.
Got it. What did you learn from this movie?
What did I learn from this movie? That I'm not a big fan of Amy Schumer. There.
Wow.
I said it.
Yeah. I mean, you were against her in CinemaWAR last time, too.
And sometimes I just pick a position because we have to be polar opposites. But after seeing this movie, I'm just not sure what it's all about with Amy Schumer. And maybe I need to review some of her stand-up, which I admit I have not seen. So
I watch stand-up all the time, and I agree. I don't understand. I mean, I understand how somebody gets a boom and they become very popular. But I don't understand why she's getting what she's getting. Like Maria Bamford finally got a Netflix show. I've been a fan of hers ever since I saw there was a Comedy Central Comedians of Comedy tour thing that he did, where they followed her and Zach Galifianakis. It's a bunch of people. I think even Patton was involved with it, but they weren't huge yet. And they just followed her on tour, and it was a 6-episode little series. And I was immediately hooked on her because she's that bizarre and weird and original. And so, yeah, when I saw that she got Lady Dynamite, that show was great. She finally had a new special that they put out 3 weeks later. I think she's incredible, and I can't believe that she might be getting more, obviously, with those two things. But she needs some sort of movie role because she's far more interesting and funny than I don't know.
Than Schumer.
But it's a reactional thing to guys joking about their dicks and all that stuff all the time. So, of course, when you get a female perspective, being open, joking about their deal, then that part I totally understand. But
no, and I like that. Those were some of the funniest parts. And actually, I was talking to a friend about this, and he mentioned the same argument because he brought up the feminist angle, and I appreciate all that she's done in that department. But I don't know, man. There's something she's not really saying anything new.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, she's gotten herself into this area where she can get films. And did she write it then, you said?
She wrote it.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I would like to see it just for that part, that she actually wrote it. Because if you're writing and, acting in something that's something pretty big, it's pretty common for, of course, somebody that's a comedy actor or even a comedian just getting thrown into a film that somebody else wrote. That just sucks.
Now that I mention it, I'm not 100% sure she wrote it alone. She may have had some, like a partner on it. So can we throw that in the jaw box?
All right, I'll look that up. How about a movie poster quote?
Movie poster quote. Snatched. The title refers to your time. You won't be getting it back.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Before you get the big news, the jaw grade.
Well,
that
you don't want to
gave
hear
it.
my one-word review?
No, that's the movie poster.
All right.
That's it. I wanted to know, did Goldie Hawn at least have a solid couple of laughs in there? It's been 15 years since we saw her in a movie. Is there something worthy of Goldie Hawn for the Goldie Hawn fans that we have out there?
I love Goldie Hawn. I really do. I mean, Private Benjamin, Troop Beverly Hills. Oh no, that was Shelley Long.
Wildcats.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn and Overboard. Oh my God,
What a movie.
yeah. There's yes, but you really got to look for him, man. It's unfortunate she didn't have more to work with. She's also part of some of the cringeworthiest moments of the whole film.
That's her. Sorry.
But it's not her. Her comedic timing is just impeccable. It's still there. She's still got the talent. She's had some work done, whatever. Once you get past that, because it's a little strange seeing her after over 10 years, it's still Goldie Hawn. So that was nice to see.
So how many jaws?
1.5. And honestly, Goldie is 75% of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. 1.5 jaws for Snatched. I think I took a good week of vacation here.
You did, man.
Yeah, didn't have to go through that. I'm
Honestly,
excited.
here's the funny thing is, this was our movie of the week. We always pick a movie we're going to review. And I went to the movies a week ago. You were on your vacation. And I'm standing there, and I was going to see, it was either Snatched, the King Arthur movie, or see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 again. So I saw Guardians 2
Wow.
the second time.
Yeah. Like it even more the second time?
I
or-
did.
you
I did.
go.
Yes.
All right. So no aliens. I don't believe there were any aliens in Snatched. Maybe. Did they go to space at all, Matt? No.
No.
But because of Alien out in theaters, Alien Covenant, and we have to admit, we did not put the alien. What is the actual name of the alien?
The Xenomorph.
The Xenomorph. Even a cool name, right?
It is.
When I was doing research, and I'm going to ask you guys this, I always like to, pull up, different lists, and I go through my DVD collection. No, I don't think anything's scarier than the alien from Aliens.
I guess you could make a case for one that might appear somewhere on this list, but yeah, I'll give it to you.
I had a difficult time coming up with the list. How about yourself, Ryan?
I had to go on Wikipedia and just do the obvious films with aliens, and I
Start to
scoured
get
it.
some ideas, yeah.
And yeah, that inspired plenty of things that I forgot about.
All right, well, you're getting us started this week with your number 5.
Machete. He's an illegal alien in the film, and he's horrifying. Have you seen Danny Trejo's
I
face?
have.
Hey, man, you better be careful. Danny Trejo actually listens to this show.
I believe it. He shoots films in Milwaukee. He's a great actor.
He is great.
He's been famed to know $10,000 for a weekend if you need Danny Trejo.
Really?
I don't know. That's what I've heard a couple times.
I mean, that seems like you can scrape that together.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Plus the flight and hotel?
I don't know, but I should kickstart like a high five with Danny Trejo for $10,000 and just see if I can get it.
I can't believe Danny Trejo gets us kicked off with our number 5 Scariest Aliens.
Oh, okay. So space aliens. All right. That eyeball thing from Flight of the Navigator.
I know what you're talking about, sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of VHS tapes in my house growing up, and I would randomly watch certain things. And so that movie always came after a movie I watched all the time. I don't remember. It might have been Major League was the first half of the tape because my parents let me watch that movie. They let me watch a lot of R-rated movies, but because they were TV edits, they didn't necessarily care. But yeah, I was obsessed with Major League, and I believe that was the second half of that tape. And between the beginning of that movie with like a frisbee echoing a flying saucer, and then the actual final, like when they introduced the alien eye thing, I shut it off immediately every time, and it creeped me the hell out.
You're not talking about the ship, whatever, the Pee Wee Herman character.
No. Flight of the Navigator.
No,
with that
I'm
boy?
familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's been a while, obviously, since I've seen it. I'm trying to remember the eyeball thing.
There's a thing on the ship that pops out.
Yeah,
like the guy.
That's voiced by Paul Rubens.
Is it?
Yes.
Get out.
No.
I'm like the biggest
But it was-
Paul Rubens fan.
It just blew your
I
mind,
had no
dude.
idea.
I thought it was Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
No.
Think about it. Compliance.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Just kidding. No. Oh no, I was saying Danny Trejo. No, I'll believe you on the Paul Rubens part. That's interesting. Now I kind of want to go home and watch that. Face my fears of that weird eye thing.
This is a movie that I talk about. I know we had it on VHS, and I probably have not seen it since then.
It's been a
So
number of
it
years.
is so like, it's one of those, it's like in my memory and I almost can't remember the movie, just like more I can remember images of the film.
The boy isn't anyone famous, right? It was just a.
He was in at least one other 80s sci-fi
That's-
movie. Let's throw it in.
Yeah, throw it in the jaw box because I
Look him
think
up.
that's
He was in
Danny
Cloak.
Trejo.
I think it's Cloak and Dagger he was in, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's Danny Trejo. All
It's
right,
definitely not Danny Trejo.
throw it in the jaw box. See what I'll see is in. Swings it over to my number 5. We'll let Matt finish this one out.
Okay.
My number 5 comes from a film, came out in 2000, and I actually think this movie, and it did go on to have 1 or 2 sequels off of the film, so it is, I guess, considered successful. But I actually thought this movie left a lot on the table, and I'm speaking of the film was pitch black. The aliens in there are known as the bioraptors.
That's a good pick, man.
And I think for me, it was the best part of the movie was the look of these aliens, which you can only see, what do you call that? Almost in the night vision.
Yeah.
So they got that like nocturnal type look to them. And I described them here as sort of a winged hammerhead creature. Hammerhead from Star Wars with those long gated eyes that are sort of stretched out. And then you got sort of like a raptor wings, really freaky. Not enough of them for my liking. I think they could have used more. I remember wanting so much more than I got out of Pitch Black. And I think there are 2 or 3 Pitch Blacks, right? There's
it's the whole
Chronicle-
Riddick thing.
Yeah, the whole Riddick. I don't know them because I haven't gotten really that much more into them other than Pitch Black. But those
Pitch Black's
bugs-
definitely the best one, I think.
And you know the aliens I'm talking about. They are scary.
Yeah, they are.
So that was
The
my number 5.
rest of the films don't really have much to do with those aliens.
Right.
Although I think they brought it back in the most recent one.
I thought they were
I
great.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah. That's my number 5, the Bioraptors.
All right. At number 5, I have the franchise that launched the career of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Whoa. I knew you were going to have this on your list.
Really?
Yeah.
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah. The fat lady from Gilbert Grape. No?
No.
No?
Critters. 1986. I love these things because at first, obviously, it's a Gremlins ripoff, right? But there was something about them. They made 3 films, and the third one had Leo, so they were going up.
I do remember the Critters. Yes, as you say, Gremlins ripoff. But it was one of those that we rented on VHS. So
Oh, yeah. And there was a slew of them at the time. Remember, there was like Munchies,
the Ghoulies.
Ghoulies, yes. Oh, my God. There was a bunch.
Yeah.
But Critters was the cream of the crop of the Gremlins knockoffs.
It was. And they had that really like ugly mouth with a lot of teeth.
Right. They were almost like a porcupine. They had quills that shot out and stuff. They were kind of scary, man.
I thought so, especially when you saw it as a kid. Nice pick at number 5, Matt.
Thanks.
Didn't embarrass yourself. Ryan Fox.
I'm not embarrassed.
Any more illegals on your list? What do you got sitting at number 4?
Shep Ramsey from Suburban Commando, played by Hulk Hogan. He's an alien in that movie, and Hulk Hogan is a terrifying man.
I don't know if I'm supposed to believe him or not because I haven't seen this movie. And after his Danny Trejo joke.
You've never seen Suburban Commando?
I've seen it, but it's been, geez, man.
Hogan in his
20
prime,
years.
his most hot dog lookingest.
Really? Better than that Nanny movie that he made?
That was his prime.
You're right there.
He made
That
the,
was right in the groove.
The Nanny one in Suburban Commando, but I'm telling you, it's worth watching.
I
And
miss Suburban Commando.
It's terrifying.
And there is an alien in this movie.
He's the alien.
Really?
Like actually from outer space?
Yeah.
It's been that long since I've seen it. I don't remember.
I mean,
Don't
it's
remember.
confusing because he's also a robot of sorts, a cyborg.
Oh, of course.
They couldn't really narrow down exactly what he was,
He's a robot from outer space.
but he's strong, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. And he had that haircut.
Does he rip his shirt off at some point in the film?
He kills a child, I think.
What?
He is shaking his head no. That is
Okay.
that is a lie. That is a blatant lie.
It's a good one, though.
The Hulkster doesn't kill kids.
Telling
We
you.
know that. Swings it over to my number 4. And I have this one. I think the reason they scared me is because they were just so damn ugly. This film came out in 2009, directed by Neil Blomkamp, which was his first film. I am speaking of The Prawns in District 9.
They are pretty ugly.
Very ugly. They got those sort of like squid things in the front of their face.
They look like Cthulhu's.
Whatever the hell that is.
You don't know what Cthulhu is, man?
No. What is it?
It
sounds like an ice cream.
Lovecraftian creature. When you see it, you just go insane. Cthulhu. Where do you live, dude? You have no idea what pop culture is.
It sounds like something Dove ice cream is selling.
Ryan, you baffle me, dude. You just baffle me.
But anyways,
how do you not know Cthulhu? Seriously?
I don't know. Oh my but the prawns. Let's get back to District 9. The prawns were very ugly creatures, and they loved cat food, which was very strange.
That's funny.
Seeing our buddy Charlton
Copley
turning into one of the prawns was
so
very
cool.
much like The Fly. It reminiscent of someone turning into this disgusting beast. The whole thing was just gruesome to me. Scared the heck out of me. I didn't like the prawns in District 9.
Really? But they wore like, secondhand clothes and stuff. I just felt bad for them. They didn't scare me.
Yeah.
Like they have like a 1992 like Buffalo Bills Super Bowl champion shirt,
right.
Discarded shirts that never got sold.
Okay, well you guys can go hang out with the prawns.
I would love to.
I wouldn't at all.
They weren't appetizing, let's say, or attractive creatures.
They just needed some friends, and maybe like a couple financiers to help them out, get them out of their little ghetto area.
To tin shanty town.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got sitting at for, Matt?
And number 4, all right, I got to get this one out of the way. Going with an absolute movie classic. I feel like we've talked about this before. It cannot be stopped. The Blob.
Mm-hmm. I was about to put that one, but I realized you guys were going to take some obvious ones, so I went a different direction.
I always take the obvious ones.
It's creepy.
I mean, dude, so it just moves and it consumes and it grows. And it's funny because even to this day, you see a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy, and without giving any spoilers, I'll just say at one point there's some action on Earth that is reflecting what's happening on Ego's planet. And lo and behold, basically it's a blob, right? It just like appears and then it starts eating up everything in its path and growing. So the concept of that faceless, shapeless creature is timeless. So and I love that.
Haven't
the
seen it in
original
a very
Blob.
long time, but scared me.
Yeah,
scary.
that was one of the first older movies I saw when I was a kid, and so just even like that context of something being like far existing before I ever existed was just creepy because I don't know, everything looked different in the film as far as anything I'd seen as a kid. And my mom was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be creeped out." Meanwhile, I'm playing with Nickelodeon GAC, and I think it's awesome.
I love it. Good pick, Matt.
Thanks.
Glad it came up. We're into our threes. Ryan, what do you got sitting there?
Number 3, I went with Mac from Mac and Me. It's very.
That is terrifying.
It's weird.
I haven't seen this one
It's
either.
not even like Uncanny Valley, like weird, but it's like there's a person behind that makeup. And again, most of these are like childhood experiences. I don't really watch scary movies anymore. And if I do, I know how it's made. So I just think it's cool. Like nothing scares me is what I'm saying. But something about that, especially when you see the whole family in the JFK convertible shot, like at the end, it's very weird. It's just bizarre.
I don't know this movie.
It's basically like a McDonald's tie-in, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole dance scene inside of a McDonald's.
Really?
It is it's famously known for a specific scene where the
Hamburger?
No, the lead character is a small boy who's handicapped. And so he ends up being next to a steep hill, and his wheelchair starts to roll down the hill, and he tries to apply the brakes, and they break. And the brakes break, they snap.
Of course, everybody who's listening knows exactly what you're talking about. We've all seen that on YouTube. Rye has no idea.
I know the scene. I do know the scene. As you're describing it, I know the scene.
Falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd has made it quite famous. And when he did it the first time, I was very happy because I love it. And now he's done it probably 7 times on Conan. And I love it even more every time because if something is great, just keep going with it.
Oh, man. Good stuff. Swings it over to my number 3. And this one appears on my list. The film came out not too long ago, 2013 it came out. And the reason why I put this alien on my list is because I think when you're watching these movies, you envision yourself on how you would maybe escape from the alien, or how you would battle an alien. And in this case, I just know I would die. I just know I would just give in to its power. And its power is seduction. I'm talking about Scarlett Johansson in Under the Skin.
I still haven't seen it, man. I know.
She's an alien?
She is an alien.
I love her.
Completely nude, if I haven't piqued your interest even more here,
I
right?
understand that.
Yes. And this is, of course, where she goes around. She's really trying to, I guess, experience what it is like to be human, and she is seducing guys. And don't want to give anything away if you have not seen the movie. Obviously, she's an alien, so there is, a hidden agenda of what she has got going on.
Sure.
And a lot of this film obviously was shot in a car and trucks with unknowing people that did
or
not
so
know
they
were.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually just heard her in an interview, and she said that, they shot a few that would probably knew that it was her, but they definitely went out of their way to get people that didn't realize it was Scarlett Johansson in the car until afterwards, and then signed all these like waivers and stuff. But awesome movie, great soundtrack. The score in the movie is awesome, I should say. And
Last time I checked, it was streaming on Amazon Prime.
throw it in the jaw box, see if it is still streaming. I believe you're right.
I got to see it.
It's a creeper, and I love it. So that's my number 3. She has no name in the movie, I don't believe either. Throw that in the jaw box. I'm pretty sure she's nameless in the film, just the alien. So that's my number 3, Scarlett Jo.
That's swings it around to me, right? And at number 3, I don't think this alien race gets a name in the film, but it's an iconic image from John Carpenter's They Live.
Also was going to be on my list. Oh, yeah.
I love...
It's creepy.
Yeah, they're like this blue skull-faced creature that Roddy Piper's character can't see until he finds these glasses that allow him to see all the hidden messages in mass media, and lo and behold, the rich people are captors, and they're an alien race, and it's one of my favorite movies. We just got to talk to Sandy King Carpenter,
Right, producer on the film.
at C2E2. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Glad that one came up on your list, because I thought, boy, we just had Sandy King on. We should talk about They Live.
Yeah, and it's not just about the tone of the movie or what happens plot wise. That design, that character, that face. I mean, you still see it like in modern street art. If you go out there, like there's that Obey image. I mean, it's a lot of things that movie got right. It's very underrated. Very underrated.
My friend once sold the other lead in it. I forget his name. That was in There's Something About Mary. Sold him a leather jacket. He just walked in. It was in Waukesha.
The other construction worker guy?
Yeah, I forget his name.
I know who you're talking about. He's been in a ton of movies.
Matt Dillon?
No. Kevin something.
I don't remember
throw
his
it in the
name,
jaw box.
but that story just always sticks in my head. That he just needed a leather jacket. And
Nice.
lo and behold, my friend lost his mind asking him questions about They Live.
That's pretty cool.
I like it. Now we're into our 2s. Ryan, what do you got sitting at 2?
The entire cast of Cocoon. They do become aliens, right?
Hybrids, I guess.
Yeah.
Are they
And-
scary, though?
They're naked in the movie. and they're elderly. That's
It's
terrifying.
Wilford Brimley, yeah.
Exactly.
I guess. I have talked about...
They're already wrinkly, and then they go in the pool. It's gross and weird.
I have talked about how really old ladies sometimes in movies scare me, much like in Colonial that we just watched, where it had that old little lady running sort of the nun type thing. That does creep me out sometimes. So, all right. I'll give it to you.
Sure, why not?
Thanks.
It's a stretch, but we'll go with it.
All right.
Yeah, swings it over to my number 2. And I had a couple listed here because I thought, boy, somebody's going to take some of mine, and none of you guys have. So I'm going to go with my original one here. And it was a film that I did not see. Everybody sort of jumped on board with this one. It became sort of a cult hit. And I didn't see it. As you can see, this movie has no interest to me. It's not the kind of movie I would seek out. But I did finally watch it, and boy, was I disturbed by one particular bug/alien in the movie. I'm speaking of Starship Troopers, and I'm speaking of the brain bug.
Why you gotta be so, like, holier than thou and say, this is not the type of movie I would see? Can't you just admit that you like Starship Troopers? I know you own it.
I really enjoyed it. It took me a long time to watch it. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't a movie.
See what happens when you broaden your horizons?
I remember a lot of friends were going to see it. They're like, oh, you got to see this movie. I'm like, what? With Denise Richards, and it just looked ridiculous.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I was wrong. Every once in a while,
What did you
happen
just say?
often.
What'd you say?
Every once in a while, I do make a mistake, and I was wrong.
All right.
Yes, I did see Starship Troopers, and I enjoyed it, Matt K.
And Phil, please save that audio for me so I can just play it every once in a while.
Yeah, I can leave if you guys need some time to deal with this.
It's
No,
just weekly.
But brain bug, you know the bug that I'm speaking of here.
do, yes.
Very ugly creature, and just again, sort of like the prawns, its ugliness scared me.
I see. So it's really about the hideousness for you. Okay.
Yeah, for me, that was my number 2. Matt, what do you got there?
For me, it's more about the sinister, the hidden agenda of the alien. And at number 2, I have Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. And the Rick Moranis version, I think, is the best version. Steve Martin. It's a musical. The music is awesome, and the puppet, is just sick. I mean, like, just sick. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a really scary creature that wants to eat human flesh and is not above some serious psychological manipulation to attain said human flesh. And I remember watching it when I was little because this movie came out in the late 80s, I think, maybe early 90s. Jawbox, I guess. Don't want to flood them in there. And it scared the crap out of me. Audrey 2 is a scary, scary plant that will eat your face. That's my number 2.
Love the movie. We're into our number 1s. We have not crossed over once. Ryan Fox, surprise us, please. Just one surprise on your list.
The scariest thing I've ever seen as a child, Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Scared the crap out of me. That's
Yes.
one where I had to close my eyes.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's the greatest. I mean, and then UHF is close to second. If you've ever seen that, it's a very similar deal. The guy that worked at the TV studio at the end for no reason just flies off in a mist as an alien with a very similar stop motion deal. Yeah. Anytime you involve weird stop motion for no reason at all, out of nowhere, it's pretty disturbing.
Nice.
I just thought of one that is not on my list, but can I call an audible?
Maybe as an honorable mention.
All right,
you can mention it.
honorable mention.
All right. Swings it over to my number 1. And here's a film I just rewatched less than a year or 2 ago after not seeing it in a long time, and it held up because it creeped me out still to this day. I'm speaking of the 1982. I guess I can say at this point it's a masterpiece. Kurt Russell, John Carpenter's The Thing.
John Carpenter twice on this.
Yes. And again, anytime when you're in some type of like isolation and there's an alien, and this alien can actually take form of any animal or human body.
Sure.
And the look, they got it so right to scare the hell out of you.
Oh, yeah.
There is some really gory, some really just odd and scary images in this film.
Yeah, there is. It's body horror at its finest.
I was shocked. Like I said, I watched it maybe a year, 2 years ago tops, and it holds up for me. I remember watching it and thinking, wow, I'm still a little disturbed watching The Thing. And obviously, this is a movie that relies heavily on special effects, but it's something that they did with the look of the special effects that I think just elevates this film that much more for me anyways. I enjoyed the hell out of The Thing. Loved it.
That is a great movie. If you like The Thing, and everybody does, you got to check out Society, which I'm pretty sure David Cronenberg.
High Society?
No.
Oh.
No. Society. It's sort of similar in the sense it's like this body horror where people like melt and form into other shapes, and it's very disturbing.
If we only had a box to throw a question in.
Throw it in the jaw box.
All right.
I'm almost positive I feel bad.
Nice.
You guys don't have like a box sound effect?
All right, Matt, this is it.
We do. Just
yes.
wait.
Okay.
This is it, Matt.
My number 1 is kind of like a twofer. It's almost like cheating, right? It is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So not only are they scary aliens that are abducting human beings for strange experiments, but they're also clowns. So they're doubly scary. And so, and here's another thing where it's like an iconic design that people they just see and they don't even realize where it came from. To this day, if you go into a Halloween store to buy a scary clown mask, I almost guarantee you that the design of the face comes directly from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They really tapped a nerve, and I think almost to a degree sort of invented the scary clown.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It could be argued.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a scary clown as popular before that.
No, and it's worth it for the soundtrack alone. The Dickies song, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, amazing.
Whatever the hell that is. One of the things that we had missed here.
It claims to be cultured, I swear.
One of the things that we missed here, Matt, was the Predator.
Holy crap, how did we miss the Predator?
Because I skipped it.
I did too.
I looked at
actually
the list.
skipped it. Yeah, I skipped it
gonna-
because I thought, well, Matt's got the Predator on his list. I'll let Matt have the Predator at number one. It's the only reason it's not on my list.
But he's just cool. He's not creepy.
Oh, he's scary, man.
Oh, really? I just thought he was always pretty cool.
Once you finally do see the Predator, I think it's pretty freaky.
Oh, very freaky. Yeah, and I love the scene where he's like, "You aren't afraid
Get to
of
the
anything."
chopper.
No, he says to Billy,
Bullshit. You ain't afraid of no man.
he's like,
There's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man. We're all gonna die.
"Love that."
Nice.
That's something I could just listen to again and again.
So what was this one that you just thought of, Matt?
There's these moments that we all have. You remember from your childhood when a part of a movie came on that you otherwise enjoyed the entire movie, but this one part you had to close your eyes. Like Large Marge is a classic example. The Last Starfighter.
I like this movie.
He goes to battle in outer space after being chosen by a video game. Classic male power fantasy, indulgement. And a automaton or a robot is sort of left in his place to act as him. But it takes a while to I don't know, form to, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever, to take his shape. So they cut to a scene where he's in bed and his mom's like, "Get up for school." And he's just like moaning. And then they cut to him and his face is all like weird and beeping. And like, it's just an ugly picture, like almost like skull-like with translucent skin. Freaked me the hell out when I was little. To this day, when that part comes on, I look away. And I've seen some stuff. Let me tell you, I've seen some crazy horror movies. That still gets me.
Nice. Any honorable mentions for Ryan? Only other one I had down was, and they're not that scary, but I think in the Tom Cruise version, the way they disintegrated people, the tripods in War of the Worlds, the way they killed people so easy, that was sort of freaky.
Okay. Mothman is my only other honorable, which is arguable, not an alien.
Not an alien.
Could have been.
It's a moth.
Oh, the xenomorph that pops out of that dude's stomach in Spaceballs creeped the hell out of me when I was younger, even though it was singing and dancing, because I had not seen Alien, so I had no context for what that reference was. And my friend just kept imploring me that I have to go see Spaceballs when I still hadn't actually seen Star Wars. I finally watched Star Wars like 5 years ago. Yes, everyone. Yeah.
It's okay. You got it done.
No, anything that's overhyped, I just eventually am like, no, I'm not going to, because I know it's going to drive you insane. But yeah, that part specifically, because I had no idea why it was happening.
What'd you think of Star Wars?
The first one's good. The fourth, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I mean, I like how they're made. Like, that's what I was that far along and an adult that when I watched it, I didn't care about storyline necessarily. I just thought it was like super cool and hip, like how they did it, because you could tell, everything's just a set. Like, there's nothing really crazy. The biggest CGI things are like, what? I don't know, the laser beams or whatever. I
don't even think they did have some CGI. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds on Star Wars.
Yeah. If we missed your favorite scary alien in movies, and you have Twitter pulled up, shoot us a tweet at CinemaJaw. We will retweet it and get the discussion going. What we're going to do is take a quick break. When we come back, Matt is taking Ryan on in movies based on television shows, trivia, plus a CinemaWAR looking at Transformers and the Pirates of the Caribbean. We'll be right back on CinemaJaw.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
Hey, Jawheads, I just wanted to remind everybody that you can still get involved with our monthly riddle. It's been a fan favorite. Everybody's excited about it. And here's this month's riddle one more time for you. I have been in a Marvel movie. I have played a vampire. In one calendar year, I have appeared in 2 films that starred Brad Pitt. The year prior to that, I won an Oscar in a film that starred George Clooney. And at one time, John C. Reilly played my husband. Who am I? Send us your answers to feedback@cinemajaw.com and good luck.
Go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And we are back on Cinemajaw, hanging out with Ryan Fox, the writer, director, the creator of The Life and Times of Thomas Thumb Jr. Will there be a sequel to Thomas Thumb Jr.?
No.
What about a prequel, Thomas Thumb Sr.? We got to find out where he's from.
Oh yeah, that's a fun little detail that was pointlessly written into it. Wait, why is it Junior? I don't know. Oh, because I thought somehow there'd be some correlation to like the tale of Thomas Thumb or something.
Maybe his mom was a pinky finger, you know?
That was originally in the script, and he found out like his origin, and I cut it out because it's not important. But a feature is, everyone wants me to do a feature of that. And if I got a lot of money one day from somebody, absolutely.
Nice.
Because then it would be fun. But out of my own fruition, no. Hell no. I'd rather do something brand new.
Now, what is really great is a lot of times we do have filmmakers on where the listeners can't necessarily check out the project that we're talking about.
Sure.
Not the case this time around. People listening to this right now can go to Vimeo. Where's the best place to do so, Ryan, again, if they want to check out your work?
I mean, specifically, just go to vimeo.com/Ryan A. Fox. Or, like I said, if you jump on Google and just type in Ryan Fox Vimeo, it'll pop up, or Thomas Thumb, Ryan Fox. You'll find it's not hard to find.
And if you watch it, give us a little feedback. Write us an email, feedback@cinemajaw.com. We'll pass it along to Ryan.
I would like to hear.
If you live in Germany, there's an MTV show called Clickbait that started, and they'll be playing part of it in that.
Nice.
So that's thrilling. I posted a video that got 100 views, and somehow that managed to get into the hands of somebody that was working on some clip show. And so either way, it was good because
awesome.
the closing
That is awesome.
Closing song by Prince Charles and the City Beat Band is great, and I was a huge fan of it. And so when I could incorporate that into it, and then also like get in contact with him and get permission, I was really happy to like email him because he was actually pretty big in Germany. And so I went, "Hey man, are you okay with just getting a check that's not that big for doing nothing?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, sure." Thanks.
Nice. Speaking about being big in Germany, while I was in Berlin, we did like a tour.
Speaking of Hasselhoff.
Yeah, and this guy actually told this very funny story about how David Hasselhoff had gave a concert right before, the day before, they tore down the Berlin Wall, and that Hasselhoff afterwards in interviews had said that he helped bring down the Berlin Wall with his singing and his concert. And,
It's true.
It's a huge laugh. We love the Hoff.
The piano key necktie was super hot, and women were just clawing at the concrete and the brick.
They do love them in Germany. It's amazing.
They really do.
They really do. It's funny. All right, Matt, before we get to trivia, before we get to CinemaWAR, we did throw a few items into the jaw box.
Cup of to a tree.
Elias, it missed 2 weeks in a row in the jaw box. He was out and about. So let's open up that jaw box.
What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton?
The box.
What's in the box?
What's going on? Let's see. You know what? Let's just jump right in here. We do have a lot of questions. Who wrote Snatched? It wasn't Amy Schumer. It was Kate Dippold, who co-wrote Ghostbusters and The Heat.
I got that totally wrong.
The new
Didn't Schumer
Ghostbusters.
have something to do with it?
Not
according
I'm sure
to-
she punched up the jokes. You know.
Yeah, or punched him down.
Oh boy. So the Flight of the Navigator kid actor, was he in anything else? His name is Joey Kramer, and no, he was in a couple episodes of Murder, She Wrote, and then he fizzled out.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Under the Skin, is it on Amazon? No. I love that movie, by the way. And what's her character's name? It's the female. You know, I've been trying to read the book Under the Skin that it was based off of, and there's a problem because in the movie right away you know it's an alien, and in the book, at least a couple chapters I'm in, it's, you know, you don't know that, and it's kind of mind-numbing and not really into it. Yeah.
Keep going, Elias. It gets better.
And I remember we talked about how the score in the film was so similar to the score in Jackie,
Yes.
remember? And it ended up
Right.
being the same person who scored the film. But in Under the Skin, it works amazingly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I do comedy films, but I feel like what I'm really inspired by lately is all these modern day sci-fis like Under the Skin and Ex Machina and Black Mirror.
Ooh, I want to see some sci-fi from Elias. Do it, man.
I actually have some stuff in the works.
Good.
Thanks for bringing that up. So let's go to the next question. Who was the actor in They Live, the other one, besides Roddy Piper? That is Keith David.
I was close. I said Kevin something, and I knew it started with a K.
Let's see. What year did Little Shop
close.
of Horrors come out? That is 1986.
Yeah.
Originally, you said late 80s, early 90s.
That's late 80s.
Mid.
Mid. All right.
And who directed Society? That was Brian Yuzna, who also directed Return of the Living Dead 3, which I watched when I was a kid. It was really weird. Anyway.
Society's a weird film. You got to check it out, Ryan.
Yeah.
Society is weird.
Both Ryans would enjoy this one, I think.
Nice.
Was that everything?
That's all.
Hey, do you guys ever get any cool feedback for your show?
Yeah, we do, actually.
Weird.
We got a couple.
That'd be awesome.
Here, I'll read this one. It says, "Hi, guys. I just listened to your latest episode, and I do have to agree with Eric when it comes to the new Guardians movie. I see it as a James Gunn film after making the Marvel people happy with the first one. I had a great time with this movie. I really felt like the filmmaker purposely went B-side with some of the decisions. The music, the plot, it feels like a standalone sequel to me with more focus on characters than plot and villain. And personally, that works just fine for me. While watching this film, I felt like it was a well-produced, expensive B-movie, and I loved it. With all the nitpicking I see in film reviews these days, I think sometimes it's great to just show up and have a good time with a colorful action, sci-fi, comic, comedy, adventure. 3.5 Jaws from this movie fan. Enjoy the show. Love the personalities. Keep up the good work." From Brandon D. Atkins. Thanks,
Nice.
Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Yeah. And we got another one here, and it just so happens, Matt, we actually read some feedback from her a little while ago. But A, she writes very nice feedback to us, and two,
Eloquently, yes.
she reminded us in her feedback of our Movie of the Month Club pick, which is Fish Tank. This one comes to us from Sophia. She wrote to us, "Hi, Cinemajaw team. I wrote last year sometime to say I was a new listener, and I really enjoy the podcast. Thank you so much for reading it on the show. It was ages ago, but it was really cool to hear my email read during the record. It put the hugest smile on my face. Well, Sophie, we're doing it again." She goes on to say, "I am still an avid listener. I always keep up to date with the show. I'm currently living in Spain, and I get to see hardly any movies at the cinema anymore. Most of the movies here are dubbed, and I refuse to see dubbed films. It's an absolute drag. And often there are very few original sound sessions that I can fit around my work schedule. I love being able to tune into your podcast to keep up with what's good and what's not in the cinema world. I'm practically in withdrawal. I was pleased to hear that your movie of the month this month is Fish Tank. I really enjoyed this film, and I'll be interested to hear what you guys think of it. I really hope you like it. I studied this film for an English paper that I did at the university about women authors and directors. So when you review it, I think it would be nice to draw attention to the fact that Fish Tank was written and directed by a woman, and I think it gives great attention and nuance to a teenage girl's experience. I'm not working in film production at the moment, but I'm moving to London this summer where hopefully I'll start working at the bottom rungs of production. Wish me luck. Keep up the great work. Sophie, thank you. Thank you very much, Sophie.
Good luck, Sophie.
Yes,
Good
definitely.
luck.
And thank you for listening. And thank you for reminding all the listeners that next week, on next week's show, Matt, we will have a review of Fish Tank. It is our May movie of the month.
I can't wait.
So if you have seen it, write us, feedback@cinemajaw.com. We will read your thoughts when we review the film next week.
There was a fish tank in my dentist's office.
Yeah.
I just would sit in front of it and stare for a while. Does that count?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, good.
People like to be soothed before their teeth are picked apart, so.
True.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to getting a review of Fish Tank. I'm excited to see this one. I love me some Fassbender, so good stuff. All right, Matt, it brings us to a segment called
CinemaWAR.
CinemaWAR works like this. Me and Matt, we're fighting on a topic. Our guest this week, Ryan Fox, gets to play judge and jury and tell the listeners who he thinks won. And it's important because we're fighting for some jaw time to rant and rave on whatever we want. Well, there's two big series. Both have 4 films and both have a 5th film coming out. Elias, tell the jawheads at home what today's CinemaWAR topic is.
Yes, right. Today's CinemaWAR topic, which of these action series that has a 5th film coming out in 2017 is more annoying, aka needs to end? Pirates of the Caribbean or Transformers? Matt, you'll be fighting for Pirates. Rye, you'll be fighting for the Transformers. Let's let this CinemaWAR transform. I read these as I go along.
Wow, that is a doozy. Matt, let me put this on the record. I am putting it on the record, and I'm stamping my approval. The Transformers series is the most unworthy film series of all time.
Wow.
Never before has there been such pitiful movies that keeps getting greenlit for sequels. The Pirates movies at least had a few solid entries in the series.
Ryan, seldom do we have an argument that I think I can just ace in one point, but here goes. When people hear of a new Pirates movie, they say, are they still making those? When people hear of a new Transformers movie, they say, of course they're still making those. They are both atrocious series, but Transformers at least has some pop culture significance.
That point aced it? What the hell are you talking about?
I think it aced it.
I don't even know what the point actually made.
I threw the ball in the air. I served it. It bounced once on your side, and you did not return it.
You're cross-eyed. Let me tell you, Matt. Let's take the Rotten Tomato test here. Of the 4 Transformer films, none of them are rated fresh. The first one has the highest rating at 57% rotten. Pirates has better scores across the board, and the first pirate film, very fresh at 79%. Look at the last Transformer film, 18% rotten. We need to stop this series.
Never tell me the odds. Michael freaking Bay. Is he Hitchcock? No. But at least he has a style. The Transformers films are a guilty pleasure. They are fun eye candy. The Pirates films are garbage, with Johnny Depp sinking further and further into a hackneyed character performance that he gets way too much credit for. Looks like a drunk Rye the Movie guy to me.
Wow. In the Transformers series, when Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox exit the series and it keeps going on, fans probably had reason to be optimistic. But no. The series remains terrible. The Transformers series is not more than meets the eye. It's just plain cinematic vomit.
Transformers is a beloved property from my childhood. And while I will always prefer the animated series and films, like I said, the live action movies are a guilty pleasure with many redeeming qualities. The Pirates of the Caribbean was a second-class and disappointing ride at Disney World. They based it off of a ride at Disney World. Pooh, I say.
Believe it or not, though, Matt, Johnny Depp was nominated for an Oscar for his first performance as Jack Sparrow. In general, the Pirates movies have a better cast. Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom, Jeffrey Rush, and this time around they've added Javier Bardem. Transformers, they've added Mark Wahlberg, and some girl lesser known than Megan Fox. Robots fighting robots was so 2007. Let's put this series to bed.
You say Mark Wahlberg like that's a bad thing, man. Rye. Are you serious? The Pirates of the Caribbean is 3 movies past its welcome at this point, maybe 5. Transformers, while largely also crap, at least has characters that we love, destroying real cities that we live in. I am way more invested in that property. Walk the plank, you scurvy scum.
Wow. We are button heads here, as we do each and every week on CinemaWAR. We throw to our guest, our jury, Ryan Fox. What did you think of this CinemaWAR? He was trying to get a sound effect, I think, ready.
No, I just wasn't listening because I already determined immediately.
I saw him over there just sort of chuckling, looking at his phone like he was going to pull together some sort of sound effect.
Well, I didn't ace it on my first point, huh?
No, you sure didn't.
I was going to back it with facts, so I was looking at profits, but I'm going with Transformers because the whole point of both franchises is to sell shit. And Pirates, it's based off of a ride with a mild rape scene in it that they had to adjust, whereas Transformers has sold endless amounts of toys and T-shirts to children. So mission accomplished. So keep making them, because that's the point.
I can't lose, man.
Hey,
I can't lose.
I did win last week, but
Nothing you said made me want. No, just kidding.
Doesn't matter. What'd you say, Ryan?
I was going to say I did finally win one last week, but you have been on onslaught lately.
Yes, this
there is no
true.
doubt. Even though this series, this war, you could flip a coin. I agree. Both these series are
Total garbage.
How are they both at 5? I have no idea.
Because people like watching this crap. I don't know.
Wait, so you didn't mean what you just said?
Could have argued either side of that
just
one.
a gimmick. Elias, you edit the censors, right? Like
That's
curse
edit.
words?
Phil, the editor over here.
Oh, Phil. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil. What does a loose faucet sound like? Fuck. Because you guys use that drip noise, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. I only
Perfect.
I only listened to one episode, but I really wanted to do that.
Hey, I love it. That was hilarious.
So
good stuff.
this fucking drippy faucet.
Yep. Boop.
Matt, that earns you 20 seconds of jaw time. Let's keep it clean, buddy.
Shit. What the hell? I got nothing. I should start writing these because I seem to win every week. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. There's really nothing good in the theater right now. Go see Guardians of the Galaxy again. I mean,
All right.
Aliens coming out this weekend.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Great use of your time there, Matt. All right, it brings us to trivia.
I win so often, I just
All
don't
right.
know what to say anymore.
Brings us to trivia. Everybody's favorite segment. All right, and it works like this. There's 8 questions here, Ryan. You're our guest. You get to choose if you want to go first or let Matt go first. Now, there are steals, and if you get hung up on a question, you get one trip to the ER for Elias Rodriguez. He has clues to all those questions. As I mentioned, Baywatch coming out in theaters, so we are playing movies based on television shows trivia. Ryan, what do you want to do?
I'll start.
Question number 1 over to Ryan Fox. The 2005 Aeon Flux film that came out was based on a popular animated series. Which actress starred in the film?
No clue. Oh, wait. Yeah. It's not going to come to me.
You could take a guess.
I could. Goldie Hawn.
No?
Oh, seriously?
Incorrect.
I thought he nailed it there.
Matt, you got a chance for a steal and to take the lead.
Mila Jovovich? Really?
Ooh,
Wow, question 1. What the hell is going on here?
I thought you had it.
Charlize
actually.
Theron?
It was
That's-
Charlize Theron. It was. Yes.
Got to go with your gut there.
Wow.
Man. I didn't get it
No,
either, so
that's what I was going to say, but I can't think of people's names ever.
Wow.
That's not my deal.
you're in trouble then.
A first.
Neither can I.
Maybe a first in CinemaJaw history. Nobody gets question number 1.
Wow.
Question 2 over to Matt K. So who knows what's going to happen here. Matt, released in the year 2000, this action comedy starred Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu. Name it.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh. Seriously? Where was that for me?
Well, the first 2 were supposed to be layups. I had no idea.
That was not a layup.
Question 3 now bounces back over to Ryan. In 2008, the Get Smart film came out, and it starred Steve Carell and this actress who played Agent 99. Name her. Get Smart.
Amy Smart.
That is incorrect. Matt, you got a chance for a steal and to go up 2-0
Was she like a
on Mr. Fox.
Hollywood bombshell type? Like, man, I have no idea.
Got a guess?
Was that Goldie Hawn?
Oh.
Whoa.
Sooner or later, that's going to be right.
Yes, we
Yeah.
were looking for Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway. Believe it or not.
Mm-mm.
Still only 1-0 after the first 3 clues, which are the easiest in the game. Question 4 now moves over to Matt K. Matt, Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell have made a movie together. It came out in 2005 and was based on a TV show. Name it.
I think Ryan knows this one.
Every one of them.
Really? 2005, Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
based on a TV show. Was it The Gong Show? Laughing.
Ryan, you got a chance for a steal and to tie the game up.
Bewitched.
Ugh. How did I miss that?
Horrible
Wow.
movie. The first movie with Will Ferrell that I saw, then I went, oh, dude, come on. Everything else is great.
1-1. We got a ball game all of a sudden.
Yeah, wait till the house comes out this
It's a
summer.
low-scoring affair. You could call it a pitcher's duel. It's 1-1. Question 5 goes back over now to Ryan. Ryan, also in 2005, The Dukes of Hazzard came out. Johnny Knoxville played Luke. What actor played his brother, Bo Duke?
3 names, right? Sean William Scott, right? Yeah.
Wow.
How did he pull that out?
Stifler.
Yep.
Comedy movie.
We would have also accepted Stifler.
2-1, and this is a layup because I think people were already talking about this one. But this is the way the cookie crumbles. Matt, in the 1994 Flintstone adaptation, John Goodman played Fred Flintstone, who played his neighbor, Barney Rubble.
That was Seymour himself. My God, this is what I'm talking about, right?
Gotta give him 10 seconds.
Yes, you do.
Oh boy, it's painful to see Matt struggle like this all the time.
4.
Come on, man, shut up, stop.
He was just talking about how much he loves this actor.
The Rick Moranis version, I think, is the best version.
I do. Rick Moranis, Jesus,
ties it up 2-2. You are something else over there.
Dark Helmet.
Yeah. Question 7 jumps back over to Ryan. Ryan, Miami Vice film came out. It was directed by Michael Mann. Colin Farrell played Crockett. Who played his partner, Tubbs?
Jamie Foxx.
Wow.
Reverse order.
Yeah.
Everybody's ringing the bell here. It is 3-2. Ryan, you got to just tie it up here on the last question of the game.
This is number 8.
Yes.
And we still have our lifelines.
Yeah.
Yes. Question 8 over to Matt K. Matt, in 1999, Claire Danes, Omar Epps, and Giovanni Ribisi starred in an adaptation of this classic crime drama that went off the air in 1973. Name it.
Repeat the question. I know it's a mouthful.
Let me have a swig.
Yeah. Wet the whistle.
For anybody
All right.
listening, that's ever clear that he's been drinking this whole podcast.
Matt, in 1999, Claire Danes, Omar Epps, and Giovanni Ribisi starred in an adaptation of this classic crime drama that went off the air in 1973. Name it.
I'm going to go to the ER.
Whoa! A trip to the ER on question number 8.
'Cause why not?
Elias Rodriguez. What was the name of that 1999 Claire Danes film?
Oh, yeah.
Your clue is this clue may moderately help. This clue may moderately help.
Oh.
Oh, come on, dude. You repeated it.
Ryan is pissed. He is steamed over here.
Only because
the Mod Squad?
Wow. I think the repeat of the clue did sell it. I don't think Matt picked up on the emphasis on mod the first time.
I didn't, but I would have totally
Controversy.
guessed the Avengers. Remember that? Like that 70s?
That weird one.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
But I knew that was wrong.
Rye
Wow.
usually repeats what I say, so he would have done it justice. So.
It's true.
It is a tie ball game here, 3-3. So we got to go to the jawbreaker. This question is over to Ryan Fox. Better cop television show turned movie, 21 Jump Street or Dragnet?
oh, this is opinionated. Can I take it? what's
his
his
Whoa!
clue?
Trip to the ER, Elias Rodriguez.
Do I get some inner truths about these guys?
No, you gotta pick one here. This is the jawbreaker. Better cop movie based off a TV show.
It's purely subjective.
Yeah, I understand. Just kidding. Are we talking about the new version or the original?
The new 21 Jump Street and the movie Dragnet, both the movie versions.
So which one is better there?
Yeah.
Because it's like a reversal.
Right.
So the newest one, the better one, would be 21 Jump Street.
It was Dragnet. All right.
Kidding? Of course.
It was all a joke anyways. All right, here we go. It is all tied. Here is the real jawbreaker. And it's great that it comes down to this because Matt has mentioned that he started this actor's fan club.
Ooh.
We're looking for the age of one Rick Moranis.
Nice.
Closest to. Matt, do you have a guess?
All right. This is where I try to do math, which is almost more embarrassing than me trying to do movie trivia. So we found
Looking
out
at
that
a moron trying to figure out what Rick Moranis' age is here.
So it was a little more than 30 years ago that Little Shop of Horrors came out, right? It was 86. And I would say he was...
The Rick Moranis version, I think, Seymour is the Rick Moranis for Dark Helmet.
I would say he's got to be 64 years old. 64.
Elias, lock him in at 64 years old. Ryan, do you got a guess?
So, again...
Closest to.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll just go 65 because I think he's older.
This one is right. You guys are right on top of it. In fact, Matt, he's 64 years old.
Yes!
President
Well
of the fan club is right, Matt K. Wow.
Rightfully so.
I mean, he had to be 34 when he did that, so yeah, just made sense.
Do you get mail from people for that?
Yeah,
That
I
fan
got some
club?
buttons too. If you want to join the fan club, you get a button.
Nice.
It's just a picture of Dark Helmet on a button.
I do respect him because he doesn't do anything and he's happy.
Yeah, he retired.
He's happily living off of his Honey I Shrunk.
What was the clue on question number 6, which was regarding Rick Moranis?
Oh no, I shrunk the clue and I can't read it.
Wow, that's weak.
That is, yeah.
I would have said, comb the desert.
We ain't found shit.
Wait, can you say it again? But when you say shrunk, really emphasize it.
Try it, Elias.
Oh no, I shrunk the clue and I can't read it.
Oh, okay.
If only we could blow it up. No,
That was one of the sequels, right?
it was.
It was good.
Honey, I blew up the kids.
I missed that one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
didn't- I wouldn't say you missed it.
Well, Matt, you did get a win in trivia. Did you guys shake hands? I think you
We
guys
did.
shook
We
hands.
did,
I didn't see it, but I'll take you guys' word.
Here, you want to do a fist
Pump.
bump?
Okay, that's good. All right. Well, brings us to the end of a great jaw.
It does.
First and foremost, we got to thank Ryan Fox. You drove in from Milwaukee to do the podcast.
That's a haul. Thank you, dude.
I drove here to play pinball at Logan Arcade. This is just icing on the cake.
Yes, that's nice. That is
Fair.
perfect.
I'm
That's
just
fair.
teasing.
Yes,
It's,
well-
it's been a delight. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Nice meeting you, and thanks for coming on Cinemajaw. We also got to thank all our sponsors.
Thanks to all the sponsors and the Chicago Podcast Co-op who help us get those sponsors.
And we got to thank the best engineer in the biz, Elias Rodriguez.
Thank you, fellas and jawheads. I will be at the Cannes Film Festival this week. Yeah, it's going to be very surreal. And if anybody happens to be around, contact me.
KAHN, right? They're just playing Star
That's
Trek 2 back to back to back to back.
Yes, exactly, man.
I've
How
been
do
to
you
that
guys-
film fest.
It's
It's
in
awesome.
France too. It's also right next to the actual
Yeah.
Cannes Film
That's
Festival.
pretty-
Oh, Cannes is really fun too.
I thought that was the film fest that it was all films made by inmates because that one's pretty good too.
Yeah.
The Cannes Film Festival.
CON,
I see.
CON, yes.
No, this is the real deal.
A lot of rape
Elias
scenes.
is traveling over the Atlantic, so you won't hear him on Cinemajaw. I think you're taking a couple weeks off of
Yes,
Cinemajaw
yeah,
to
I am.
travel a little bit in Europe.
Yes, I've never been to Europe before, and I'm also going to Portugal, Porto, and London, and Frankfurt, Germany. So a lot of German talk in
Yeah.
this episode.
See?
Good for you, man.
I
That's
just
awesome.
get back, and now Elias is leaving. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Phil will
Elias,
be filling
if
in.
there's a TV in Germany, if you could just record the screen of that MTV show, I'd be entirely blessed because I really need to feel better about
All right.
myself.
Sounds good.
I just really want to end this podcast by
Yeah.
having it be my voice.
Well, it was so tense the way you were saying that. I was scared
Yeah, I was
for
like,
Elias.
"Whoa."
Good stuff.
I'm talking again.
Yes, I love it. Hey, follow us along on Twitter and Facebook, right?
Yeah, check us out.
Everywhere Cinemajaw on social media.
Yes.
Do it, Jawheads.
Do it.
And until next week, I'm Ryan, the Movie Guy.
I'm Matt K, and keep on jawing about the movies.